Join us at Women of Courage and celebrate the achievements of women. Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in. This is Gloria Lee, the moderator for the show Women of Courage. Wherever you are in the world, I need you to know one thing right now. You are amazing. I know you might be upset. I know you might be hurting, and I know you might be frustrated. I know because all of these things happened to me. I was homeless for 2 years, and all I had was a computer, my son, and a car. I want you to know you still have a purpose in life, and it is my job to help you believe that again. Do you want to believe? Can you see that the divorce was not meant to take you out? Can you believe that the lost house and the lost job is a setup for something greater? By the end of this broadcast, you'll be injected with so much that you cannot help but believe again. And I am going to help you do just that. Are you ready? I got some things I want to share with you. And I will even make suggestions on books and activities that you can implement, which will ultimately bring healing and wholeness to you. If you are ready to be healed, if you're ready to be whole, just jot down the pointers I give and watch your life transform. No matter what happened, no matter whose fault it was, today is a new day, and your time to live and be free is now. Join me in this journey to wholeness. Your time for total healing is now. Today you shall recover. Wholeness, healness, and peacefulness is in the mind. That is where all battles for life end and begin. The Women and Children's Restoration Ministry is a reading ministry founded on the principle that if one reads, one can manage his or her life successfully. The benefit of reading is enlightenment. Reading brings about self-awareness, and reading teaches one to problem solve, even if the problem is managing one's emotions. We advocate that people read all of their lives. We believe reading opens the door to possibilities and shows a person how to tap into his or her imagination as others have done before them. Reading is also a way out of poverty and ignorance. Poor children are overwhelmed at birth, especially black male children. Since the dissolution of the black family, 85% of black children are raised by women who are poorly trained and ill-suited to be parents. You are ill-suited to be a parent if you refuse to take time to read to your child or read for yourself. You are ill-suited to be a parent when you stick your child in front of a television or video game so he or she will be out of your hair. You are ill-suited to be a parent when you continue to bring non-related males into your home straight from the bar just because the man winked at you. You are ill-suited to be a parent if you teach your daughter that all she has to do in life is to push her buttocks and breasts out to attract a man. And you are surely ill-suited to be a parent when all you think about is walking around, allowing your derriere to flop in the wind, thinking your buttocks is going to attract some man. Our children are surrounded by people living by tradition instead of living by creativity and hope. Black children are not supported at home to read. Black children are not being taught to value reading. There are black homes where there is not one book in the house. The children do not even receive a book for a present. Black children are not being given a chance to stand up and bat because they are being defeated in the crib. Black Americans are not advancing because they do not read. If you can't read, wear it, or drink it, many blacks are not interested. How many bookstores are in your neighborhood? How many books have you read this year? How many conversations do you have with people about a book that you read? There is a saying that has been repeated throughout generations. If you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book. This saying is disgusting. Lack of knowledge is why black people get duped in business, why black women lack self-esteem, and easily participate in sexual sin. Many black people cannot read an insurance policy or a purchase agreement. Our young men cannot receive training because they cannot read. They cannot take an exam for a driver's license because they cannot read. And what do? Nothing. Oh, we talk. Talk is easy. It makes one look intelligent. The telling point is there is no action behind the talking. The lack of self-knowledge is why we sell our bodies, why we think having a big butt makes us attractive. And once we get a clipboard and an ink pen, we think we're better than the next black woman. Reading will stop you from acting a fool on your job. Reading will make you think twice before screwing your best girlfriend's husband. Reading will not only teach you about jealousy, envy, and greed, it will teach you the consequences of these emotions. It is incumbent on us all to do something about this problem, lest we face one of these uneducated men breaking into our homes, because surely violence is associated with the lack of education. Once a child is born, every decision made by the mother affects that child, including the toothpaste that you purchase at the store. I want you to consider reading. Stand up and let God see you working to change. It is possible for any person to mother a child, but being a mother is a lifetime job and privilege. Mothers have a significant role to play in every child's life. It is a role that can never be filled by any other person and tends to impact hugely on the child, thus aiding in molding him or her. Today's society is filled with women who act without thinking of the possible consequences, only for them to end up regretting once the deed is done. One thing you must understand, there is no action that you take that does not affect your child. That includes taking birth control pills, drinking at the neighborhood bar. Everything a woman does affects her child. Some women seem to think their lives are separate from their child when it comes to men, when it comes to bringing unrelated males in the home. It is not. This show is aimed at discussing the significance of women, mothers, in their children's lives and the roles played by mothers in determining their children's ultimate outcome. A woman's actions, whether big or small, tends to affect their child's life significantly. Mothers are pillars in the development of their child's emotional well-being. Children depend on their mothers to set the rules and implement them. They equally depend on their mothers to enable them to have a sense of physical security as well as psychological and emotional security. A mother who conducts herself with the kind of decorum that is expected of mothers tend to positively influence her children. Yes, poverty plays a role in a child's development, but the main impact is the mother. This goes a long way in impacting her child, since such a child will always want to make his or her mother proud. What this means is that mothers tend to set the bar for their children. The higher the bar set by a mother, the better the child's outcome. Consequently, when mothers began teaching their children to read at an early age, this greatly impacts a child's language development. This is why mothers should fill their houses and cars with reading material. Children should always be told it is their job to go to school and learn, and it is your job to go to work and make the money. You are giving the child the responsibility for learning, and you're letting your child know you have expectations for him or her. Not getting involved in criminal activity or immoral behavior just means that you are setting a low standard for your children. Such cases of these kinds of parents almost always end up in prison, thus leaving their children with no mother figure or mothers who are involved in any manner. Here is the problem with this. Most criminals are seduced by the word easy, and especially because they always think about using their body. That's easy. Almost all criminals think whatever they want to do that is criminal, that is easy. 3 men in Detroit thought it would be easy to steal a man's car. The car had expensive wheel coverings. The men made the assumption that everyone in the community would take the carjacking and murder as just another crime committed in the city. Well, the people did not do this. The carjacking and murder took place December the 24th, 2015. The man they killed was Mr. Anthony Tolson. Mr. Tolson was killed the evening before Christmas after he finished playing the bass guitar at a church service. He was on his way to visit his 3 children when he was carjacked and killed. Mr. Anthony Tolson was shot and killed outside of a store on Gratiot Avenue at 8 Mile. Mr. Tolson had just finished performing at a church service and had stopped at the market when he was ordered out of his car, which was a Chevy Trailblazer, shot and killed. The suspects, of course, there was more than one, took his SUV, which was packed with presents for Mr. Tolson's 3 children, along with his bass guitar and other equipment. The community rallied. People said they were tired of the violence. People went door to door passing out flyers asking for information regarding the murder of Mr. Tolson. The community vowed to help the police find his murderers. Mothers of murdered children passed out flyers. Reverend David Bullock passed out flyers and told the community the killers were still at large. We don't want them to strike again. We need somebody to give us a tip that will lead to their arrest. Well, by January 26, 2016, 3 men had been arrested. 35-year-old Charles Cox, age 35, along with his co-defendants, 28-year-old DeVan Williams and 18-year-old Denar Jean Arthur Young, were all arraigned on first-degree murder, felony murder, carjacking, armed robbery, and firearms. 3 men killed Mr. Tolson because they thought they could sell the rims of Mr. Tolson's car for $1,200. This was an absolutely stupid crime. If they did succeed in getting $1,200 for the rims, they would only net $300 apiece. You can earn $300 working at McDonald's and not have to worry about going to prison. The brutality of the crime was horrendous. Mr. Tolson was shot 3 times and kicked while he was on the ground. Mr. Young told the investigators all about it. Charles Cox, 33, was sentenced to life in prison without parole. He was convicted of first-degree murder and other charges. DeVan Williams, age 28, pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and was sentenced to 11 to 40 years in prison. He is still in prison. Darnell Young of Inkster, he was sentenced to 33 to 60 years in prison for second-degree murder after he pleaded guilty. Darnell Young was 18 years old when he committed murder. What these men did was depraved. What needs to be asked is, how did these men get this way? When did these men decide their lives were worthless? And why did these men decide they should gamble on winning a stupid proposition? How many times were these men offered a book to read as a child? How many times were these men taken to church as a child? How many times were these men told stealing is morally wrong as a child? How many times were these men told as a child that they must learn to read so they could find a job to support themselves and that stealing was wrong? How many times were these men taught to think as a child? How many times were they told as a child that nothing is easy? That the illusion of easy is a myth? That nothing in life is easy? That people who think stealing is easy are stupid? The only thing these three men accomplished December 24th, 2015 was the death of Mr. Tolson. I don't think they got a chance to sell the wheels. These men made their lives worthless by thinking stealing and murder was easy and that no one would know. These three men killed Mr. Tolson December 24th, 2015. They were in custody by January 26, 2016, and all of them were sentenced to prison by August 24th, 2016. Little did they know they would be behind bars in less than 30 days after committing robbery and murder. But you tell me this was not stupid. Who raised these men? But many women fail to realize is that an involved mother promotes their child's inner growth and strength. You see, according to the numerous studies that have been conducted on this subject, it has been established that when mothers are affectionate and supportive, it significantly impacts a child's cognitive and social development. It equally instills a genuine sense of well-being and self-confidence. There is no way this 18-year-old should have been associating with this 35-year-old criminal. Mr. Charles Cox's mind was polluted. He should never have been associating with an 18-year-old. Once you bring a child into this world, it is your conduct that matters. It matters what you do and what you do not do. You owe your child the best that you can produce in your life. Your obligation is to your child, and that obligation cannot be negated. Regardless of how angry you are at your life, you made the decision to have that child, so you might as well pick up the burden and do something about it. Because regardless of what you do, you will either face your failure or you will face your success in life. If you need strength and help with rearing your child, there's always God. Why not try God for direction and understanding? You need to make up in your mind what kind of woman you're going to be. You need to learn to read. The more you read, the more you learn. You need to find a job. You need to buy a car. You need to leave your ignorant friends alone, especially those friends who think stealing, lying, and cheating people is easy. Move out of your old neighborhood. Do not tell anyone where you're moving. Change your phone number. Find a church so you can get weekly encouragement. Decide on the education. Find a school. Work hard and seek a tutor if you need help. Graduate. Find a house in a decent neighborhood and raise your child, all while you're reading books to provide you with information. Seek people who are trying to improve their lives, not women who spend their lifetime in bars looking for men. Be clean about your mind and body, and please stop thinking of ways to negotiate with your body. You're trying to raise children, so you must set a good example. This is why you do not bring unrelated males into your home. If you have to have sex, screw the man in the alley and go home to your children. That is correct. I said it. If you have to have sex, screw the men in the alley and go home to your children. Be respectful and seek people who think as you do. Remember, the most powerful influence on a child's life is your conduct. Your first step is to get yourself out of the deprived environment. I do not care if you have to sleep on the floor in an apartment. You do not want your child around people who think less than themselves, who have criminal minds. I do not care if these people are your family. An ignorant person is the most dangerous person in the world. No one is more dangerous. You need a decent place to stay. You need a decent babysitter, a job, and a car to stabilize yourself. Read and come up from poverty. Have more than one occupation. You can sell houses part-time as a real estate salesperson, or you can learn to fill out income tax returns and do that part-time along with your other job. The most important thing is to think and stop trying to negotiate with your body. Why? Because the very man you bring into your home over your children will either rape and kill your children or kill you while your children watch. Remember, you are the most important person in your child's life, so you need to start acting like it. Remember, have no credit except for a car, and save every penny that you can save, and do not tell anyone that you have a savings account. Always save, and above all, you must value your children, not just in words but in deed. No man is to come before your child, and I mean no man. We're going to spend more time on this subject of motherhood later in this year. I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, it is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. Now,
Need a publisher? Contact Touched by the Light Publishing Services today. We can help. We can help you write, publish, or promote your book. Get the best book publishing services available. Call 734-786-3233. Leave your contact information and we will get back to you. Or email your contact information to yithril11@netzero.net. Get the best proofreading, editing services, book cover and website development, book trailers, and more. Email us at yithril11@netzero.net to get started. We are self-publishing made easy. We empower independent authors. We can help you write, publish, or promote your book. Once you contact us, the hard part is over. Self-publish your work quickly, easily, and affordably today. Call 734-786-3233. Leave contact information or email contact information to yithril11@netzero.net. That's all there is to it. Now you can leave the rest to us. Ready to show the world what you've been working on? Call 734-786-3233 today and let's get started.
If your vagina isn't working for you and you have a house filled with children and no husband, then you need to change. You need to start reading to learn how to win at life. You will learn a woman should never be without money. If you have to choose between eating and spending your last dollar, you need to drink water. Never spend your last dollar. Drink water. Learn that you can gain freedom through reading and writing. Power can be black or green. Take care of yourself first. Otherwise, you will not be able to take care of anyone else. You need to visit the website touchedbythelight.us to read inspirational articles and to watch inspirational videos. These articles and videos can lead you out of the darkness. You must read. You can no longer keep conducting your life based on information that you learned 10, 15, or 20 years ago. Stop relying on what your friends have to say and their opinions. Read and get the facts and take control of your life. If you cannot read or you have a problem reading, find someone at the library that can help you. Stop wasting your life away by drinking alcohol and smoking marijuana just because you feel bad. Hi there. Are you finding it difficult to overcome the challenges of life? Have you asked yourself why certain Unknown operations around your life cause you to fail, for you to hurt yourself and others? Do you know that we fight unknown spiritual and physical battles daily, and you may be fighting the wrong enemy without knowing it? Are you ready to reach the extraordinary and discover who your real enemy is? If your answer is yes, then you are on your path to victory. Know Your Enemy is a book written by Gloria Lee, a great communicator who offers the best effective solutions to differentiate your enemy from a third voice. This book will show you how to take stock of your life and who is in charge of your life. It will help you draw from your greatest disappointments the wisdom and strength you need to channel your thoughts to be a better person. Know Your Enemy was written to help children of life building skills and productive thinking, help mothers to train their children, and to give exceptional insight to adults on how to respond to situations in a healthy manner without having emotional judgments on themselves. If you desire to change and fulfill your life's focus and purpose, then you need to read the book Know Your Enemy that will educate and develop you. The book can be found at the website touchedbythelight.us. You can read a copy of the first chapter. Know Your Enemy. Your life is in the balance every day that you awake because you do not know your enemy. You spend all day thinking about how to impress people, what clothes to wear, how best to seduce a woman, how to get people to like you so you can use them, have someone call you for a date. That you do not stop and think and ask, what forces are acting in my life causing me to fail? You have not surveyed your life asking the question, why is there more rain in my life than sunshine? Why do I keep hurting myself and others? What is wrong? Why am I thinking the way I think? Why do I think it is smart to cheat, lie, and to steal? Why am I who I am? Instead of rushing out every morning, you need to sit down and take stock of your life. You need to sit down and ask yourself, who have I brought into my life that is causing problems in my life? Yes, there is a person or persons in your life that is changing the tide of your life, that is causing you to self-destruct. You are relying upon their advice. You admire them. You think they're smarter than you. You think they have all the answers because you believe the facade they are presenting. They are whispering in your ear at work or at home or at play, and they are causing you to make unwise decisions. These people are called the third voice. Who is the third voice in your life that you're listening to that is causing problems in your marriage? Who is the third voice causing problems on your job? Now, don't be a fool and convince yourself that the third voice in your life is your girlfriend is telling you not to go to the bar and bring a man home. She is not the third voice in your head causing destruction. She is not why you do not have a boyfriend that turns into a husband. It is a voice that is advising you to be wicked. That is a third voice. The voice that says you need to get into the groove by sticking your breast out and going to bed with your girlfriend's husband or dance topless at the bar because it is fast money than working at McDonald's. Working at McDonald's is stupid. Marrying and buying a house and paying taxes is for fools. You should use your vagina to get a man or use your penis to punish women. You should sell dope for a living. You should not pay your brother-in-law back the money he loaned you. You should run 2 or 3 women at a time and not pay child support. This is the third voice. This is a voice that's seducing you. But do not put all the responsibility on the third voice, because this voice could not seduce you if you did not listen to it, if you had a good heart. If you are selfish and self-centered, this voice will get you every time. So when you try to find a third voice in your life causing problems, first look to yourself and ask, am I lending myself to self-destruction? When you take assessment of your life, ask yourself, how blameless am I? What changes do I need to make in my life to turn it around? The first change you should make in your life is to change you. The second change to make in your life is to change your friends, those that do not contribute peace and health into your life. Anyone who tells you to use your vagina to get money should be removed from your life. Anyone who tells you to rob a liquor store, go to a bar instead of studying for an exam, or take another hit of the crack pipe, or selling drugs should be removed from your life. As you are removing these people from your life, move to another address so they cannot find you. Remember, your life is in the balance every time you leave the home when you do not know who your enemy is. If you have not made any significant changes for the good in your life, the enemy in your life may be you. A discussion of the trial of the mind. More time should be spent instructing children how to think rather than telling them what to think. If we teach our children how to process information and how to avoid making emotional judgments and assumptions, we would have far fewer murders in this country. Almost no time is spent in the classroom teaching children how to think. So when they grow up they still do not know how to bridle envy and jealousy. Children are told to digest mounds and mounds of facts and to be prepared to regurgitate these facts at will. Consequently, when children get in trouble with their emotions, they do not know how to respond and explosions occur. I like a shiny red truck. I do not have a shiny red truck. Robert has a shiny red truck. I want Robert's shiny red truck. I think I will hit Robert and take his shiny red truck. What does a person do with emotions such as jealousy, envy, and hatred? I like Bob. Gloria says Bob likes girls with large breasts. I do not have large breasts. Brenda has large breasts. Since Brenda has large breasts, Bob will like Brenda. I hate Brenda because Brenda has large breasts, causing Bob to like her. How can I get rid of Brenda? The test in life is how well you handle your thoughts. How well do you evaluate what you are thinking? What do you think about all day? What thoughts flow in and out of your mind every day? How well do you handle these thoughts when they are disruptive, when these thoughts upset you or make you angry? How well do you handle envy, jealousy, and hatred? Do you allow these thoughts to fester until they become unbearable? How often do you plot the demise of that man or woman you hate because they married and they have someone to care for them? How often do you tell lies at work because you are jealous of your coworkers? Why do you refuse to face the fact that you are too lazy to go back to school to provide a better life for your children? Why is it so hard for you to face the fact that your neighbor is getting ahead in life because he's willing to work two jobs to provide for his family? Why don't you evaluate your thoughts when you see a woman whose breasts are larger than yours? Why are you always looking for a married man to date? And why is it so important to you to reap satisfaction from making your supervisor look foolish? Why not read a book that will help you develop the process of resolving one's thoughts? Come on, use your brain. How can you be a man's fiance when he's married? The average man who cheats on his wife will sooner or later decide it makes no sense to exchange his wife for you and disrupt his life. He knows what kind of woman he has at home, and he knows what kind of woman you are. Why do you hate George so much? He works two jobs to buy the pretty red truck that women like so well. George must really get your goat if you spend every day plotting how to seduce his wife. Do you really think taking his wife to bed will make you the man George is? Buying yourself a Cadillac is not going to make you the man you want to be. You need to change and take responsibility for yourself and your family. You need to pick up a book, educate yourself, and change and fulfill your life's purpose. Reading is one of the most important activities that a person can participate in. A world of information is available to you. This information can help you shape and change not only your life, but the lives of your children and spouse. Visit the website touchedbythelight.us and find yourself a book to read. For more information, you can email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com. You can visit touchedbythelight.us and learn what our books have to offer to you. Hi, I decided that at the end of every show for the next year, I would share excerpts from a book that I believe would enhance your life and make you a stronger thinker and problem solver. All characteristics that will help you win at life and raise stronger and healthy children. Many of you turn your nose up at reading, or you snub the advice that you must read in life to succeed, or you compare the cost of a book to getting a new pair of shoes or getting your hair done or your nails done. The reason why you make these cost comparisons is because you do not truly value a book. A book is a magnificent instrument that can change the course of your life and the lives of your children. In later shows, I plan to discuss with you how a book changed the lives of certain people. I understand that you do not earn a lot of money, and this money is valuable to you because of all the things you see advertised that you desire, and you do not want to spend a lot of money on a book. A new pair of shoes is more valuable to you than a book. If you truly cannot afford a book, then you need to go to the library and take your children with you for a day of reading. You must gird your loins and proceed at educating yourself. Some of you seem to think that having a conversation with your stupid girlfriend or your stupid boyfriend will help you more than reading a book, when actually having a conversation with your loudmouth girlfriend or loudmouth boyfriend is merely a cathartic, allowing you to blow off steam and proclaim how life has been so unfair to you. What you do not realize is that the advice coming from your do-nothing girlfriend or your do-nothing boyfriend is advice coming from a fool. Your do-nothing girlfriend is a sexual opportunist looking for a man she can impress with her body. When her vagina fails her, what will your girlfriend do but go to work at McDonald's or Wendy's at the age of 60 and continue to spread her ignorance at church? Her daughter will be on the street and her son in prison. She will never realize that her life is the result of the decision she made not to educate herself through reading. All her life she felt that she had something better to do than reading. She had something better to do than reading with her children. She had something better to do than working with her children. And that was going to the bar, trying to entertain a man or trying to find some man that would buy her a pair of shoes. A man spending money on her was more important than educating herself. In later shows, I'm going to spend a great deal of time giving you some examples of fools. These are people who think they are smart, willing to trade their body and integrity for a dollar bill. These people end up in the cemetery after lamenting each and every day of their lives about their unfulfilled dreams. Do not be upset by the use of the word fool. You tell me if a woman is not a fool to instruct her grandson to kill her husband for a $25,000 life insurance. Let that sink in for a moment. Instead of instructing her grandson to make something of his life, the grandmother instructs her grandson to become a murderer, to kill his grandfather. I have this anecdotal advice for you about reading. Listen to this short true story. A friend and I were talking. She said a woman she knew called her and sought to renew their friendship. During their conversation, the woman told my friend that President Trump had done so much for black people, and that's why she voted for him in 2016, and she was going to vote for him again in the upcoming election. My friend asked her a question. She said, "Tell me some of the things that Trump has done for black people." The woman said, "A whole lot." My friend persisted and asked her to name one thing that Trump had done for black people. The woman could not. The woman kept using the phrase "a whole lot of things." My friend said after a while she stopped talking. Finally, the conversation was over and my friend hung up. My friend said, as she hung up, she made up her mind right then that she would never renew her friendship with this woman. Now ask yourself why. Why would she not renew her friendship with this woman? You can answer this question in 2 words. The woman was a poor thinker. She never investigated anything that was told to her. Whether you know it or not, a person who is a poor thinker, who does not examine his or her thinking, is a very dangerous person indeed. Think about it. The book God's Encouraging Word is a book loaded with information for men and women. One of the most important points that the book makes is the key to change is to avoid negative thinking. Negative thinking has killed more people than any disease or bomb. Negative thinking will stop you in your tracks. It will fill you with fear, and you will never accomplish anything in your life. You must begin to pay attention to what you say to yourself, because if you are constantly saying negative things to yourself, you will begin to believe them. Avoid negative people. Anyone that does not feed into your changing your life positively must be avoided. You can start anew any day of the week at the time of your choosing. Ignore the fool who will tell you that you are too old to do anything. They have no dreams within their hearts, and they are willing to fight for them. You must be willing to fight for your dream, and we will show you how. God's Encouraging Word will show you how to sow the seed of faith and believe and plenty into your life, how to maintain a positive attitude, and how to fight for your happiness. This book is not for you if you believe that Jesus has changed and that he is much more liberal than he was 2,000 years ago. This book is also not for you if you walk around pretending evilness does not exist, that it is some abstract term used by theologians to subjugate the minds of men, that there is no heaven or hell, or that you will not be called to account for your behavior. This book is also not for you if you turn a blind eye to the fact that there are some white and black fathers in this country who are raping their children in their beds, and that these fathers are your sons, and that the judiciary, to support male control, are telling women, if you divorce your husband, you shall lose your children. This book is not for you if you believe people are to be bullied, brainwashed into believing religious dogma. This book is not for you if you are a mother-in-law participating in the destruction of your son's marriage because you're angry over the circumstances of your life and you envy your daughter-in-law's willpower and strength of self. This book is for you if you're seeking change in your life, if you are seeking definition and reason for being. This book was written for the man or the woman who knows they need help and are willing to consider another person's opinion regarding how provocative Jesus was, a provocateur and a revolutionary. It was his calling to stir the pot and to push the envelope. Jesus advocated original thought and thinking for oneself. Not once did Jesus ever say, "Follow me blindly." He provided man with several reasons why he should be followed. how man should guide his behavior, and why one's behavior was better than another's behavior. Jesus never said you should follow the crowd inside or outside of the church. He said, "Follow me because I am the light of the world, and through me you shall find everlasting life." After he said all of this, he proved it by being resurrected. He was the light of the world. The book, God's Encouraging Word, is a book for you. If you are down and out, this book is for you. If your husband has left you for a younger woman, this book is for you. If you are angry and you do not know why, this book is for you. If no one seems to care about you, this book is for you. If you feel sad all the time, this book is for you. If you feel life is no longer worth living, this book is for you. If you are afraid and are alone in the world, this book is for you. This book is for you because God's Word will turn despair into hope and sadness into joy. This book is for you because happiness is possible, peace of mind can be found, love and joy can come into your life. There is a companion for you. There is fulfilling jobs for you. This is why this book is for you. This book is for the man and the woman who are seeking a healthy mind and body and a better way of life. This book is for the man and woman who is not afraid to be transformed inside and out. This book is for the man or the woman who has finally decided to try God. God's Word will change the way you think, and God's Word will change your life. Put God to work in your life. He is always available. You must have a vision bigger than today. Get a vision and watch it resolve itself when you start walking with God. Believe for something that God can do. The impossible is something that God can do. Believe for the unbelievable, a life of overflow. Stand on the Word of God and believe it. God says, "My word is my bond. My word shall not be broken. I shall not break my covenant, nor alter the words from my mouth." Give God a job to do. Put him to work in your life. Jesus said, "I will do whatever you ask for in my name, so that the Father's glory will be shown through the Son. When I go, you will not be left alone. I will come back to you. My Father will love those who love me. I too will love them and reveal myself to them. Those who love me will obey my teaching. My Father will love them, and my Father and I will come to them and live with them. The Helper, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you everything and make you remember all that I have told you. This comes from John 14, verses 13 to 25. Acts 1:8 says, "But when the Holy Spirit comes upon you, you will be filled with power." This means when you feel discouraged, come back to this page and read these words again and again and again, and fill your spirit with joy and hope. You are responsible for your mental health. How you feel and what you choose to believe is under your control. You can transform your life. You do not have to live a life of poverty, breathing despair. Just stand up and believe in yourself and believe in God and watch the change that will come into your life. You are responsible for the results of your life. The responsibility for your life lies with you. You are responsible for the things that you say to yourself and the things that you do not say to yourself. You are also responsible for the ideas you believe and the ideas you choose not to believe. Regardless, faith and trust are the determinant factors. Jesus said, "You will not be left alone." If you believe you will never be left alone, you will trust God during a storm when there is no lightning showing you a way out. When you believe in Jesus Christ, you are never alone, and God will come to you and lead you out of the storm. You can help bring change into the life of a woman by purchasing this book for her. It is important that we spread word regarding the restoration of the human spirit. Women need to know there is a way out other than negotiating with their bodies. Women in this country are heavily burdened because of the activities of the devil. The devil has told men that it is now beneficial to them not to marry, that they are to carry on relationships with women for sexual gratification only. He has told men that having a family and being a father is an encumbrance. They no longer need to participate in this activity. He has also told those men that are married that it is okay to commit adultery because everyone is doing it, that they should indulge in any activity that makes them feel good. A mistress on the side is a necessary thing. The devil is telling men it is all right to be self-indulgent. If you're unhappy, there are a number of devices, such as alcohol, tobacco, and drugs, that he can provide you with to lift your spirit. You can play an important role in our efforts to relieve the suffering of women having to fight the devil in their home. The devil knows that the best way to destroy civilization and to return the world to anarchy is to attack the woman. If he can successfully destroy the woman, he can dissolve the family and gain control of the man's mind. Have you not noticed the permissiveness and the nudity on television? The devil is slowly trying to make us tolerant of all sorts of deviant behavior. It is all right for a man to parade around nude. It is okay for people to use profanity on television. It's okay for women to participate in actual sex acts on television, and this behavior is good entertainment. If men persist in this behavior, sooner or later, we will see men and children having sex on television. One can also call this reality television. How are we going to deal with fornication on television when we have not defined incest as rape, imprisoning those fathers that participate in this type of behavior? Women need to be told there is help available to them. They need to know that there is a God that they can go to solve the problems they are experiencing in their lives because of the devil. Women need to know that when they pray, help is on the way. This book was written to lift the spirit and to tell women there are limitless possibilities in life, and happiness and fulfillment is possible. This book is a great gift to a woman. If it is a gift that will be used over and over again, a gift that will change the lives of countless women and children. If you are a man reading this book, you will learn what help your daughters will need throughout their lives. Earlier, I included a short discussion of the book, Know Your Enemy, because I want you to get started thinking offensively. Survival must always be the utmost on your mind. It is critical to the welfare of your children that you now and then take a look around you at home and at work, into the lives of people who visit you at home, who talk to your children. 90% of the time, it is the people who are close to you that can do the most damage in your life. There's nothing you can do to prevent jealousy and envy in others, but you can anticipate their behavior and guard against their destructive forces. Remember the song Smiling Faces Tell Lies? We will discuss this book again. God bless.
Too many Black women are still dying of breast cancer. We need to be more aggressive in our fight. Please join with the Women of Courage show to help save women from breast cancer by purchasing one of our books to raise awareness of this issue. Receive a free gift with each book purchase. For more information, call 734-786-3233. Our entire collection can be seen at www.touchedbythelight.us. Also, please go to www.nisv.info and download the PDF file, Black Women and Breast Cancer, and send the file to 5 of your friends. With a little assistance, you can help us fight this disease. When we work together, we win. Thank you. Minister Gloria Lee.
This video was brought to you by the Women and Children's Restoration Ministries. why not email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com and learn about the programs we have to assist women. We welcome women who wish to participate. Surely you have a few hours each month to help us with one of our programs. We believe that one of our programs, Recruiting Citizens, The Wall Project, Black Women in Cancer, Teach Someone to Read, will interest you, where you might volunteer once a month to help us. Our primary function is to assist women in changing their lives. Email us today. We would appreciate your help. Join us at the Women of Courage Show every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. and every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. for information that will change your life. You can also visit us at our website, touchedbythelight.us, for more